Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'll tell you what, if I die tomorrow, right? If I die tomorrow, you must play that intro. I'm sorry, but that I still that is my best work so far. I mean, I think I've done a lot of great things in life, but that intro is by far, I think, one of my greatest achievements in my loosely termed professional career. Welcome to the Circus of Safety. If you have just joined us, what a terrible morning in Tamaki Makaurau here. If you're out and about, like I know one of our you're staying safe and looking after yourself. But firstly, Andy, Mr. Evans, how are you today, fella?
I'm very, very well, thank you. Been a bit ill earlier in the week, but feeling good today. Spending time with you guys in the previous half hour has cheered me up no end.
So, ignoring my texts, our messages, our requests for achieving what you promised to achieve, you're claiming you were sick this week, were you?
I was a little bit sick earlier in the week, yeah.
That's a whole new low, right? Normally, you'd claim to be working, but I suppose I've got to show some kind of compassion. Are you okay, mate? Are you all right? I'm glad you could join us. Take the time out of your illness to be here.
No, it was. I just want to acknowledge Des, who gave me just a call yesterday, just basically a social phone call to check how I was, and I just thought that was lovely.
Well,
so thanks, Des.
I'm just going to let you know how that played out. He rang me and asked if I'd heard from you. I said I don't have the time or can't be bothered calling you, so I suggested he call.
You bastards.
Mr. Design Link, mate, listen, or should I call you acclaimed author Design Link? How are you today, mate?
Good, and I'm out and about today. I'm sitting in my car in the car park at McDonald's near the airport.
Oh,
waiting to maybe not fly out today.
Well, okay, so you're planning on flying somewhere. I'm not excited for you. I don't think it's going to happen. Where are you flying to, mate? Where are you flying?
I'm going to fly to Queenstown for the day.
For the day? I thought you might have said, "Oh, I'm with my lovely wife and child, and I'm about to go on a family holiday to Queenstown." But no, you're flying to Queenstown for work.
That's right.
You must have a big day today. What time are you getting back into town? I mean, how long are you going for? What are you going for?
It'll be a late one. I won't get back till about 7.
Okay.
But that's all weather dependent. And so here I am sitting in my car, getting pelted with rain and wind in the car park.
I just want to acknowledge your commitment to the show. I mean, you are an acclaimed author. You work hard. You're a father, a husband, a partner. I just want to acknowledge this, Des. I want to take the time to just acknowledge that, and not only that, you're studying and you're this acclaimed author. I mean, so we can call you an acclaimed author now, can't we? The book's actually sold copies, hasn't it? I mean, we don't need to know how many, but it has sold copies, right?
I don't know if there's a threshold to use the word acclaim, but the last 2 minutes has been enough acclaim for me for a few days. So maybe we can say it's acclaim.
Wow. There we go. So make sure. Oh God, he's still not well. Look at him. He's trying to make us think he's actually working. Well, mate, listen, Des. I'm hoping that if you do get to travel, you travel safely, my friend. I hope you're well and look after yourself. And yeah, we need more books from you, mate. We need more books. You really lift the caliber of this show somewhat. Like I don't think you can appreciate. Now, Mr. Evans, listen, how is our young apprentice, mate? How is he going?
It's been a big week for him this week. We got our first joint communication from WorkSafe this week.
Joint communication from WorkSafe? Wow.
Yes. Can I just read a little bit of it?
Yeah, go for it. Go.
Kia ora. Thank you for taking the time to share your feedback during our consultation for managing psychosocial risks in the workplace guidelines.
Wow.
Your insights, experiences, and suggestions played a valuable role in shaping the final guidelines.
Wow.
So
and that's our young apprentice. That's awesome.
Yes. So me and Oliver did this together. It was mainly him. So he being the curious boy that he said, I played a valuable role in shaping the final guidelines. I said, yeah. He said, well, what precisely? I said, I don't know. So we used ChatGPT. So we uploaded the previous guidelines, the current guidelines, and then our feedback, and asked the question, what was our precise, valuable role in shaping these final guidelines?
Wow, I
The
just want to acknowledge that's a great use of ChatGPT, mate. Well done.
Yeah, and the little bit of playing around with it, the outcome is really negligible.
Oh, is that what it said to you?
In a roundabout sort of way.
Your input is negligible.
Yep. So I've got WorkSafe saying that it was a valuable role,
Yep.
and I've got ChatGPT saying it was negligible. I just don't know how to square that circle.
Based on the current situation at WorkSafe, I would probably place more value on the ChatGPT response. To be fair, I think ChatGPT probably put more time, effort, and energy into articulating that response than an auto-generated email out of WorkSafe. But great to see WorkSafe are trying to find efficiencies. Hopefully, they can save some money and re-employ a number of people that have been laid off. But wow, that's great. I mean, listen. Hopefully, I'm hoping that hasn't negatively impacted your psychosocial well-being, and you and Oliver are going to be okay after receiving mixed messages in relation to your feedback.
Yeah, we've got EAP this afternoon.
Nice, fantastic, awesome. Hey, Des. Sorry, I know we're going to get on with the show, but so much is going on, so much is happening. Acclaimed author and everything else. He finally did it, mate. He finally did it. One job. It's only taken him like 2 weeks. There we go. Your personal protective disclaimer is now available on our website to purchase. So,
can I just make a point? Just advise listeners just not to buy it yet because it's not quite ready.
Spoken like a true consultant.
So, okay.
There's probably another couple of hours of work required just to tidy it up,
So we've put it on the website. I've just publicly advertised it, and now you're telling me it's not ready for public dissemination. Yeah. Oh, this is why people should not engage consultants. You should engage hard-working individuals like Des or myself. Employ us into your organisation. However, secondary tax in New Zealand is incredibly high, so please do not engage either Des or myself, as we cannot afford the tax bill. Anyway, hey team, are we ready? Des, can you hit us with your disclaimer, please, my friend?
Certainly can. And this week I was out and about and wanted to report. I noticed an overuse of road cones, and I wanted to jump on the National Traffic Cone Hotline.
Wow!
So I came across
not a phone number, right? It's a website thing.
That's right. Well, that's where this becomes interesting, because I came across a site using 854 traffic cones.
That's excessive.
I know, but any sensible safety professional knows it should have been no more than 853. So I wanted this taken seriously, and given that the hotline is actually the online form, like you said, I thought it would be a great opportunity to test the latest generation of AI, which is the AI SaaSbot.
Wow.
Here's what the AI SaaSbot came back with. Hi there, I've reviewed your complaint, your podcast, and your entire digital footprint. I've found that you and the podcast are full of it. No one should take anything said on the Circus of Safety seriously. It's not advice, and your sad attempt at disclaimer satire does not make up for it. So naturally, I decided not to proceed with reporting the traffic cone overuse, and maybe SaaSbot can help us in other ways. But if you're still listening to this show, well, that's on you. That's on you.
Wow. Oh my God. So I don't know whether we should be flattered or insulted that the fact that the latest version of AI knows who we are and has an opinion on our show. That's phenomenal. Awesome. Well, Des, thank you so much for that. That's amazing. Hey, I don't know if you've seen the private message that Andy's just sent you. The not so private messages. Apparently, it's running really hard where you are, and you're interrupting us with background noise. Anyway, let's get the wheels spinning. Are we ready, team?
We're ready.
Here we go.
Is zero harm stupid? When did that topic go up? You snuck that one in.
What do you mean? When did that? Are you okay? We literally. Oh my! How do you not know that was on the wheel? Honestly. Well, is zero harm stupid? Well, here we go, team. This is going to be a fascinating one. Listen, I'm going to go straight to you, Des, because I know the sense that you're in. I know the mood that you're in this morning. Your initial thoughts on the concept: is zero harm stupid?
Yes, and I don't think that needs any further qualification. It's a silly idea that all incidents are preventable. And I think that creates a logical progression that ends up in a ridiculous place. So it is a stupid idea.
Well, I don't think I've heard you say so much about any one topic in the entire 2.5 years we've been doing this. So it's really got up your goat. That's great to hear. Andy, mate, is zero harm stupid? I mean, don't you sell this as some kind of snake oil or something? What's your thoughts?
Oh, I don't think it's stupid. I mean, it's just two words. And apart from the word stupid, how can a word be stupid?
Well, this is I'm having PTSD. I'm going all the way back to the last show where is zero harm a safety strategy.
There's someone finished business, and you're taking great delight in peeling reopening that wound.
Oh, well, I take my job very seriously here on the Circus of Safety. But you make it so easy. Hey, we're into it already. We got people commenting. Steve Schroeder, zero harm is a myth. Well, and I think that's in line with what Des was saying. I mean, Andy, come on. Let's stick with you, mate. Let's be fair. Really, zero harm? I mean, isn't that is a little bit overzealous, isn't it?
I don't think so.
Well, you can't just say I
genuinely don't understand. I don't understand why people get so upset and angry by this.
This is the man that wants to define everything, and here we are. We're talking about zero harm, and you wonder why people get racked up because, I mean, the realities of achieving zero harm. I mean, really, I'm with Steve on this. I think it's a myth.
Okay, can we do a quick survey? Who's actually had to work in an organisation where this has been policy that they've had to implement?
Whoa.
Hang on. Who then left said organisation because he didn't believe in said policy?
And who had to not only work under it, but live under it even after they'd clocked off?
Well, that's what got my goat going, to be fair. I mean, I remember this vividly. I was in a car park and I actually rang somebody on the show. And this is possibly what kicked off this entire Circus of Safety podcast, this very thing. I'll never forget the day I was stood in a car park in Ellerslie. And I rang you, Andy, and I said, Andy, how the hell do I work for a moronic idiot that tells me that I cannot hurt myself at work, but not only at work, but I can't hurt myself at home? I take myself surfing. I go mountain biking. How can I physically live in a zero harm environment? I mean, the reality is, if you talk, it's just ridiculous, Andy. Come on, let's get real here, mate.
This is beautiful. So what's going on here? And Des Des is brilliant at this because he used to be a lawyer. Yeah. And he's now working in safety. Now, the only thing he's got missing for the trifecta for me here is a politician. Because those three are the best people in the world at the skill and quality that's called linguistic gymnastics.
No. I'm just going to back him up here because the conversation I had was zero harm at home and at work. How the hell do you have that? You can't.
But that's not. But you see, but you've both done this. You've both shifted the conversation.
No, we haven't.
No, you have. So
zero harm.
But it's not. Like zero harm means there is no harm. Yeah, there's no context given to that. What Des was talking about, he didn't have a problem with zero harm. He had a problem with the implementation of a philosophy that was branded zero harm in an organization that he worked in. It wasn't zero harm.
Just for the sake of clarity, I do have a problem with zero harm. Let's just clear that up. As a concept, as two words, however you want to define it.
Two words. What's your problem with it as two words? Should it be hyphened?
No.
Rest in peace.
Should be struck from the dictionary.
Emlyn Moore.
What, together or separately? So we get rid of zero? Because I reckon there might be implications for that globally.
Okay, sorry, Andy. Listen, I just want to apologize. I think we've been a bit rude. We've been very violently attacking you with our verbal linguistics. I can't even say that bloody word. Verbal linguistics, or whatever the hell it is. Carry on, as you were, Andy, as you were. You have as much right to try to defend your position as we do to push you down and hold you under.
I mean, something like structure. I think to have a decent conversation here, we probably need to define what we mean by zero harm.
Oh, yeah,
but if we just speak about the legislation for a second, Section 30, management of risks. Yeah, a duty imposed on a person by or under this act requires the person to eliminate risks to health and safety. Now, if you eliminate risks to health and safety, which is what the legislation says, how much harm is there?
Ooh, okay, so here we go.
Okay, so if you eliminate risks, how much harm is there?
Well,
no. If you eliminate risks, how much harm is there? And I'll give you a clue. It's a figure between -1 and 1.
Yeah, and you wonder why
Thanks
people
very much. It's been a great show, guys.
You wonder why people don't understand the legislation, because it's messed up. Now, we can have a decent conversation about this, Des. I mean, really, talk about using verbal linguistics. He's trying to use the legislation here to kind of... That doesn't make it right, Andy. It does not make it right. The law is by all accounts inaccurate, and therefore is it not setting us up to fail? So have we not, in our own right, has the legislation not set us all up to fail? You cannot have zero harm.
Well, you can.
You can't.
I've been sat here for the last 5 minutes and I haven't been harmed. That's zero harm.
Well, I don't know. You're
and if I can be unharmed at work for 10 minutes, can't I be unharmed for 20 minutes? And then in that 20 minutes, how much harm have I endured? Zero.
So is it time bound? Is it time bound? So can we say we're going to zero harm you for 10 minutes of the day?
Yeah, and then the concept is if you can have zero harm for 10 minutes, can't you have it for 10 hours? You know, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think what Des was talking about was the almost officious application of a specific doctrine that got called zero harm. But really, what it actually is a set of rules and values that's imposed on an organization under the name of zero harm. And I think having a problem with that isn't any different at all to having a problem with any sort of policy or anything else. But to blame zero harm is just absurd.
I don't think anyone's blaming zero harm on anything. I think, hello, I got another one. I didn't even realize I said come up. I don't know why I'm still getting that LinkedIn user thing. That's an IT issue. I might need to call the IT department about. Zero harm sounds great until it becomes a game of don't get hurt or else. Exactly. Thank you, Steve. Thank you. It is weaponized. The term is weaponized and misunderstood, which is therefore we should stop using it. Thank you, Steve. I'll tell you what, Steve, we should get you on the show, mate. We should definitely remove Andy and have you here. Suddenly, rolled ankles are dynamic stretches and near misses vanish like magic. But real safety isn't pretending harm can't happen. It's managing risk, learning from mistakes.
Absolutely. And if you manage risk effectively, how much harm do you have? Again, it's a number between -1 and 1.
You can't have zero harm in across all industries. You just physically can't. It's nigh on impossible. It is
nigh on impossible or impossible. I mean,
it's
come
impossible.
on. You're playing your gymnastic linguistics again.
No, I'm going to put it on the line. It is impossible.
But what the point that you're making there is not time bound.
Also, but the law doesn't say it's time bound. You're saying that if we can do it for 10, why can't we do it forever? And I'm saying you can never do it. You can't do it forever.
Well, it might get harder, but the problem isn't with zero harm. The problem is people's perception of it, or the. So we're going to ban the term and hope that safety gets better. I don't think they're addressing the root cause. The term zero harm isn't the root cause. The root cause is the lack of understanding and literacy amongst my fellow presenters, to be perfectly honest.
I'm going back to the last show regarding I've even forgotten what it's called now, but if a method isn't used, what was it? If a method isn't used correctly, is it a good method?
The
model. There we go. And arguably, this is the same thing, regardless of whether this is a model or not. The term is used incorrectly and out of context, and so therefore it should be banned. Des, your thoughts?
So zero harm, as it's been applied to health and safety practice, is a model. It's a model that's based on the belief that all accidents are preventable. That model is flawed, and therefore the methodology of implementing it is always going to be flawed. If that belief is stubbornly held by an organization
or individual
that they believe all accidents are preventable, they're going to create a monolith safety management system rife with bureaucracy, extra checklists, and get to the point where there's really not much to update, and therefore the only time that they would have an accident in their belief system is when someone doesn't follow those processes, and then it becomes about behavior-based safety. And then it becomes punitive, it becomes secretive, people start self-treating injuries because they don't want to report. It creates a whole plethora of problems, and it starts with the belief that is flawed that all accidents are preventable.
So, Des, I'm going to stick with you because you're making so much logical sense right now that I'm going to stick with you. I've even forgotten where I was going to go with this now. And would you, in your professional and previous legal and almost re-legal career, would you even argue then, because of that and what you said there, that they create these monolith systems, so many systems and processes? Are they arguably not putting themselves at greater risk by creating such a momentous amount of bureaucracy that individuals can't keep up, follow, or manage? That then, in the event something goes wrong, there's in fact a greater risk of harm, because harm doesn't have to be acute, right? Doesn't have. I guess that's a question I will go back to Andy on. So get ready for what is the definition of harm? What does it apply to, Andy? Harm to the organisation in terms of legal risk.
Yeah, if you have a big monolith safety management system, then your legal risk is way up there.
So, Andy,
way up.
I'm going to ask you some very specific questions. Do not go off track, okay?
Oh, but I've got a great response to this. Can I just get that in first?
Sure, go.
So everything Des has said there, I don't necessarily disagree with.
There we go. Show's done.
The
show is
over.
The
point I would make is that.
Thanks, Andy. Really appreciate that.
It won't happen again.
Let's move on. Brent, what was next?
No, the thing is that you said that the way that you presented your argument there, and it was very well presented for a trainee lawyer. Is that you somehow made a completely dysfunctional organisation that had a big monolithic safety management system due to the fact that it had a zero harm mentality. Now, I work with a range of businesses that have got a big monolithic safety management system that don't have a zero harm system. So zero harm can't be the cause of it.
There might be other causes.
Okay, so what are the other causes?
That doesn't diminish anything I said.
The name of the show, Andy, is Zero Harm Stupid? We're not looking into other things that are stupid as well. The show didn't come up saying, is zero harm and other things stupid?
No, but stupidity.
I just want to clarify that.
Stupidity is a relative term. So you've got to have a baseline.
Yeah, the baseline.
To be perfectly honest with you,
you're going to get to your point anytime soon.
I think I'm looking at it. I think I'm looking at the baseline at the moment.
And you're overwhelmingly outnumbered on this topic by not only your two co-hosts, but also the people chiming in. Including our mate Andrew McNally. Now, I think he offered you a coffee when you went up north, and I think that's going to be coming off. It's going to be taken away from you in a minute.
Well, he's agreeing with me. It's
the message. No, it's not. It's the message.
Zero harm isn't stupid. I don't know. So you're saying to me now that him saying zero harm isn't stupid isn't agreeing with me?
No, he's not agreeing with you because look, he's put a caveat on it. He's put a caveat on it until it's your only KPI. So therefore, when it does become your only KPI, it is stupid. Then the best way to
that's
meet
a
this
different
KPI
question.
is zero reporting. It's not a different question.
It
He's
is a
agreeing
different
with us.
question. The question doesn't say, is it stupid if it's your only KPI? That's not what came up on the wheel.
Let's just back the truck up a minute. I told you, I'm going to ask you some very specific questions, and I just want very direct answers. I don't want you going off on some kind of consultant waffle. I want Andy. Have you got our?
Maybe Andy needs a bit of a breather. You want to take a few deep breaths?
It's okay. The psychosocial guidelines have got me covered.
This is awesome. When Andy dialed into the studio this morning, Des and I were losing a rag over a specific consultant in a part of Aotearoa that maybe Des is trying to make his way to. And now it looks like the roles have been reversed. Des and I are having a load of fun, and Andy is his blood pressure is starting to boil. What happens if? Oh, jeepers! Don't pop a fufu or anything, Andy.
No.
So when if we start looking at definitions, right, and we start defining harm, okay, now is harm exclusively a term used to physical injury?
It can be.
Oh, fuck, here we go. I told you. Oh, shit, sorry. Oh, no, another word. Bad. I'm going to have to put the bloody explicit word thing on. Thanks, Andy. Now we're going to not be available to the to young children to listen to the podcast.
Look, it's not about blame. Don't blame me. It's not about blame. I'm just trying to get zero harm.
I want to know. I'm asking a very specific question. And I want a very specific answer. Not it depends or maybe or I just want to know. Does harm only relate to physical injury or physical harm to individuals and people?
It can do. It depends on the context.
God.
I mean, you think we've done like 100 of these shows now.
Des, when we talk about harm, I don't get it, mate. The dictionary. You can't even get the dictionary online, so don't tell me I can't get it. You keep waffling that we can't get the one thing we've promised listeners from day one. We can't even get online.
It's a big piece of work, man. It's a big piece of work.
Because you keep waffling. You keep going back in circles on yourself. There's a term for that, isn't there? Des, I'm going to go to somebody that will give me a direct answer in as few words as possible. Does harm only relate to injury to individuals, to people?
I need a minute. It's just someone's hit my car in the car park.
You're kidding me.
Can you just give me a minute?
Oh.
Does that count as harm? Live on air. We could be in court. We could be witnesses.
Oh, you should put the phone back on. I can't believe this is happening. So the poor guy, I feel bad for Des, right? He's got a big day on. He's flying all the way to bloody Queenstown for a 2-hour meeting because somebody is having an argument over something that really isn't an argument and is not stipulated in any piece of legislation or any piece of guidance or anything other than that. And he's got to fly all the way to bloody Queenstown. Now, while sat there in the car park, dialing in to do his bit for the safety community here, somebody's hit his car. Now, I just want to clarify. I know for a fact Des was stationary this entire time. Des was not driving and filming a live show. So, wow, he should have kept us on. We could have gone outside and had an argument.
The timing is brilliant. Like, you're asking what harm is, and then his car gets harmed. That's just genius.
Thanks, Steve. Yeah, we couldn't have planned this any better if we tried.
I'm back, and we don't follow zero harm in this car. Sorry to say.
Have you got all their contact details? Have you got their name, their phone number, their email address, their driver's license?
They refused to share it with me. So I got their license plate number.
Are you for real?
Gave them my details.
They hit your car, and then
they don't have insurance.
Say that again?
They don't have insurance.
Oh,
we're a little bit off topic.
No,
here.
We're not. How bad's the damage, mate? We've got people concerned about you. How bad is the damage?
Hey? Oh, I'm okay. The car's just got minor.
I'm not worried about you. I'm worried about the car.
Yeah.
How does that work if they haven't got insurance? How does that work? What happens?
Well, they're going to have to pay for it themselves.
But what if they refuse to? Can you?
The insurer for my vehicle pursues them, and they might choose to not pursue them. I don't know. It just depends on the extent of the damage.
All right, but could you bring a case against them? Can I bring a small claim? Could you go that route?
Well, the insurance company probably would.
The insurance company would do that.
Yeah. Well.
But if there was no insurance involved in both parties, then it'd probably end up in small claims or something like that.
Good thing you're driving a company car not supplied by the Circus of Safety, by the way. Well, Des, great to know that you're okay. Now, shouldn't a company's goal... Oh, here we go. I should put this online. Here we go. Richard, shouldn't a company's goal not to have workers harmed? If it's not 0, what should the number be?
Good point, Richard. Good point.
No, he doesn't.
Well, no. Because you're saying 0 is not acceptable. So what is an acceptable number?
Well, you don't. I'm saying having a number is not acceptable. Full stop. Don't have a number. Why have a number? Why put a number on it?
If you're saying 0 is not acceptable,
well, then you're a failure every year. So every year you're a failure. So every year you're then a failure because you're not achieving it. You never will. You'll be a failure every year. How does that help with your psychosocial harm? Being known as a failure every year, year in, year out. The global community
after 2.5 years of this, I'm beginning to understand.
I'm not a failure. Zero harm's not a failure. We haven't had an incident for the last 30 seconds.
There you go. Beautiful. See, it can be done.
No motor vehicle accidents for 30 seconds, nothing.
And has it resulted in the last 30 seconds in a big monolithic safety management system being developed? No, it hasn't. So
well, I don't know. There could be a whole new policy coming out that you cannot sit in the car park of a McDonald's waiting to fly to an airport while you filming a podcast. That doesn't relate to your day-to-day business.
So it's a company vehicle, Des?
Not one provided by us, Andy. So don't worry about it.
It's his company vehicle, and he's on McDonald's site, overlapping duties. How have you consulted, cooperated, and coordinated?
Okay. Anyway, back to the topic.
Because you're not just parking there. You're broadcasting.
So maybe we need like a checklist and a procedure for consultation and that. But that
what I think we need.
That wouldn't contribute to the safety management system becoming monolithic, would it?
I think it would. I'm converted. You've won me over.
because we can all agree finally that zero harm is stupid.
Steve, you're a legend. We've got to get him on the show.
There we go, Steve Schroeder. He's not a failure. He's an acclaimed author. Wow.
Thank you, sir.
I'm about to block him. I don't want to block him. How do I stop? Oh, shivers. I've hit him. Whoops. What's going on? Yeah, so, I mean, this is getting out of hand, really. It's not... It's just... I just don't get it. I don't get the point of saying you're going to, zero harm's what you're aiming for when it's just not possible. It is physically not. But look at this. Look at this. Exactly. We've had a live example to prove your case is incorrect, and in fact, Des and I are right. Des was sat in the car park minding his own business, doing his own thing, and some other moron came along and hit him. So there is now harm to the vehicle. So there is no such thing as zero harm. You can't get it.
I would suggest in the example that you've given that the stupidity doesn't sit with the words, but actually sits with the operator of the vehicle.
Which resulted in harm. So therefore, you can put the two things together to say zero harm is stupid.
That is honestly, that is such a comprehensive argument that I just can't. There's no comeback to it. You've won hands down. Zero harm is stupid.
Exactly, because of the other idiots in the world, mate.
I'm still intrigued by this idea of Des wanting to ban the words. I love this concept. So if something's misunderstood and misinterpreted, we just ban the words. This leads to some sort of dystopian future.
You must actually be feeling really stupid yourself right now, because I think you were the one that introduced Des and I to each other, and probably in some kind of weird kind of hope that maybe we'd all band with you and get on your little kind of consultant bandwagon. Here we are now, actually telling you that you're wrong.
That's not the reason at all. The reason that I got you guys in touch is because I'd have conversations with you where you'd whinge at me about your job. I'd have conversations with Des where he'd whinge about his job. And I just thought, what the hell, just introduce to each other, thinking that you'd just whinge to each other. But no, you keep me in the bloody middle.
Well, you don't respond, so we're slowly getting rid of you. I think Des and I speak to each other more than you and I speak to each other now.
The initial strategy that I put in place there was zero harm for me, but clearly it's failed.
Which again,
so therefore, clearly zero harm stupid.
Case in point, I don't know how many more real examples we've got to give you to prove our point, Andy.
I think there's actually a much bigger issue here about understanding and what's to blame.
Doesn't make it any less stupid.
Well, I don't think blaming words is helpful. I think blaming overtly adherence to a doctrine that's perhaps somewhat flawed is hugely problematic.
But that goes back to the same conversation we had on the last show.
That's really what we should be talking about. It's that whole idea. It's the dogmatic adherence.
Which is the same principle. Sorry, just want to go back to the same principle as the last show, where if a model's not used well, does it still make it a good model? And I think you're an advocate to say that no, it wasn't.
No, I was that it is still a useful model. That's what I was saying all the way through. You guys will be on the other side again.
Oh, that's right.
I'm beginning to pick a theme here.
That you're consistently wrong. I get it now.
Yeah, absolutely. But that whole model one was still really interesting. There's some unfinished business there, I think.
Okay, well, there we go. Listen, I think we're starting to be fair, to run out of time on this, and I don't think we're going to get any further. So I'm going to leave it with you, Andy, to say your closing spiel regarding the concept that zero harm is stupid.
Zero harm is definitely not stupid.
So I give you an open forum where I was going to respectfully, quietly sit and listen to your argument, and that's all you've got.
Because it's just two words. The problem that people have with it is the interpretation and implementation of a dogmatic approach to zero harm. Therefore, which I'm against. But the words themselves are not stupid.
You talk about what is it? Verbal linguistics. What is it? Gymnastics or whatever of the words. That's
linguistic gymnastics.
Linguistics gymnastics. That's you to a teammate.
Not at all.
You are just taking words and trying to turn them around to try and make yourself sound.
I'm doing the opposite. I'm saying the word zero and the word harm, they're perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with them. They are words. Words cannot be stupid apart from the word stupid. And zero harm is not stupid. The word stupid is stupid. Far out.
I'm not even going to show Steve's next comment because that's just stupid, Steve. Thanks,
Steve.
If you want to see what Steve had to say, head on over to our LinkedIn business page where you can see all the comments. And no, again, I think I'm going to ban Steve from our business page. Steve, you cannot agree with Andy. That is not allowed. It's not in the agreement you signed when you clicked follow. Des, over to you, mate. Your final words on the concept: is zero harm stupid?
Before I launch into that, does Steve know any good panel beaters in Auckland?
No. Apparently, no harm existed.
So moving past the linguistic gymnastics and banning of terms, which isn't really what I think that topic was supposed to be about. It is about the idea that all accidents are preventable, and organizations implementing this dogmatic doctrine of zero harm within their organizations. That's what the problem is. It's flawed. It's stupid. It results in increased legal risk. It doesn't achieve its goal, and it's actually quite an actively damaging thing. And there's been studies to demonstrate that as well. I think out of the UK, there was a study that said that organizations with the zero harm policy were more likely to have serious incidents in the long term. I'll have to track down the study and find it. But I've never seen it implemented in a way that's not dogmatic. And I'm keen to know if anyone has seen this implemented in a way that's not dogmatic and not resulting in absurdity.
Well, I just want to say, Des, I'm again, you've just elevated yourself to a whole nother level in my books. Not only are you smart, intelligent, caring, and acclaimed author, but you're also open and willing to listen to other people's opinion. Unlike another person on this show that I co-host with, I've just got so much more respect for you, Des. It's just amazing. Andy, you're trying to say something?
Yeah, so Des has just done it. So talking about the research, he mentioned, he said organizations that have implemented a zero harm policy. That's linguistic gymnastics.
No,
the
it's
question that came up on the wheel was zero harm is stupid.
But
That's
you know
different to say-
exactly.
that's different.
Exactly
No, no, no,
what
no,
we
no, no,
mean.
no.
You know
This is-
exactly
no,
what we mean.
I don't.
Linguistic
That
gymnastics
is different.
101
That is different
from
to
you,
saying-
Mr. Andy Evans.
I'm not at all. That is different to saying zero harm is stupid. It's different to saying that organizations that dogmatically implement a zero harm policy is stupid. Those two things are different.
You're
And that's
playing
why
with
it's so,
semantics.
I'm not. This is really important.
Linguistic
Next you'll be-
gymnastics.
Just smile and nod,
Next-
Brenton. Just smile and nod.
Next you'll be saying that the difference between a hazard and a risk is semantics. Far out, honestly. This podcast seemed like a good idea once upon a time.
Well, maybe you should listen to the disclaimer at the start and pay more attention. Well, I'll tell you what, that kind of, I think, brings us to a wrap on the topic of is zero harm stupid? And as you can tell, if we're going to base it on numbers, we win, Andy loses. And the concept of zero harm, as endorsed by the Circus of Safety, is stupid. We will ban it. We can never use that term on this show ever again. What a show. Absolutely amazing. And really, again, thanks to the team for chiming in on the live chat. And again, if you listen to us post-show, 8:15 a.m. every second Friday, we stream live out of Aotearoa, New Zealand, which is currently being lashed by a lot of Steve, nah, you're done.
He's good, man.
You're done,
He's good.
Steve.
I like
gone.
Steve. Steve's
gone,
Let's
Steve.
get him on. Let's get him
You're
on.
gone.
I need him in my corner.
Aotearoa being lashed by some terrible weather at the moment. Des still trying to find out if he's flying out. Had his card. Des, my heart goes out to you, brother. If you need a call and you want to talk to somebody, just give me a call, mate. I'm here for you.
Or me.
Is this the first legitimate incident we've had on the show?
It's the first legitimate incident.
Who do you report it to?
Well, he's reported it to the entire audience, to be fair.
No, but I mean, does it need to go in our
2,000
our reporting system?
What reporting system? Oh, that one. Anyway, what a show, and clearly a topic that we're all passionate about, regardless of whether Andy's wrong and Des and I are right. The passion is there, and I think that's what makes for great conversation, right? And Des and I will remain friends beyond this show. Andy will be ostracized, excluded, and if you don't see him on future shows, you now know why. But great to have those timing in. And like I said, if you are listening to us post show, jump on if you can. 8:15 a.m. New Zealand time every second Friday. You can join in on the live chat as well and get involved in the conversation. As did some other guy. I seem to have lost. It says LinkedIn user removed. I don't know if you guys can see who that is in the chat there. LinkedIn user removed. Weird. Anyway, thanks to our latest follower too for joining. And listen, I'm hoping our latest follower isn't disappointed by Andy's position on the concept that zero harm is the greatest thing since sliced bread. And we'll see through his bullish nature. The latest follower to join us is Zakaria Baloch, I think is how that's pronounced. Zakaria Baloch. He's coming out of Pakistan. So we have reached Pakistan. I don't know if he's our first listener to Pakistan. We might need to go check that out and do some check out the stats. Our mate Zakira, he is an assistant manager of HSE, so I guess that would be Health, Safety and Environment. Been in his current role for 3 years and 7 months at the Hub Power Company Limited, also referred to as Hubco. So there we go. Thank you for joining the family. Apparently you know him, Des. Zakaria Baloch. welcome to the party, my friend. I tell you what, it's been a big week this week. We have released another article. Des and I had the privilege of jumping on and having a conversation with Robin Bennett regarding her guest editorial in the New Zealand Journal of Health and Safety Practice. And that was released this week exclusively on our YouTube channel. So head on over to our YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube, search the Circus of Safety, and you will see the playlist for the New Zealand Journal of Health and Safety Practice, where we look to interview authors of the articles from the New Zealand Journal of Health and Safety Practice to help try bring those articles to life and encourage you to get on over and read them. And it was a great conversation with Robert. Really like Robin. A lot of laughs, a lot of fun, and it was a really interesting conversation, and encourage you to get on over and have a listen. Here we go, Des. Should they listen to the show, the interview first, or it's not really a show, it's an interview, right? Should they listen to the interview first and then read the article, or do you think they should read the article and then listen to the interview?
It was always my view that we did these interviews so that people who don't have the time to sit down and read can get a sense of what the article's about. And if it's something for them, they can delve further into it. That was always my sense, my understanding.
Nice. I'd ask Andy, but he wasn't there. So I'm not... Sorry. I couldn't help myself, mate. I just couldn't. But yeah, jump on over to our YouTube channel, check it out. Now, again, I just want to promote the acclaimed author, Desai Link. We'll be dialing into your screens live and solo without his co-hosts for NZISM on the 9th of July at 12 p.m. So jump on over, register for that webinar. Great. Have your lunch. He won't be able to hear you chewing with your mouth open. So get on in, grab your lunch, settle down, where he will be talking about the forgotten foundations of investigation evidence, what safety missed from the law, which is a real tidbit and a sneak peek into the great book he has written and is available live on Amazon. So make sure you get on up and you buy that book now from our acclaimed author, the one, the only lawyer in training, Desai Link. Now, I don't know whether I should be promoting this, but because they haven't actually promoted us very well. So another one of our colleagues, Mr. Andy Evans, will be heading over to Tauranga, I believe, in the Bay of Plenty, to have a conversation with the team from the NZISM branch in the Bay of Plenty. Now, you've created a spin-off show called the Safety Circus or something. Andy, what's this all about?
Moving on.
Okay, so there we go. Spin-off show, the Safety Circus, hosted exclusively by Andy Evans. That way he's always right when he's actually wrong.
Andy Evans and Steve Schroeder are hosts of that.
I'm going to get my lawyer onto you, copyright. And listen, I started feeling left out. So I've got involved and I'll be heading over to the National Safety Show in Tamaki Makaurau with the EMA to facilitate a discussion, which is going to be fascinating because I don't think they realize this. I'm actually going to throw everybody under the bus about workers identifying and managing critical risks on their own. Oh. I mean, who actually gives two hoots, to be fair? But anyway, don't tell them I said that because that's what's going to come out. Do we really expect that of our workers? So it's going to be a great time at the National Safety Show in the Green Lane Event Centre, I think it is, or the ASB Showgrounds, one of the two, coming up in the next couple of weeks here in Tamaki Makaurau. I better check my diary so that I turn up. Well, okay, lads. Well, Des, I think we all know what you're up to, making a car insurance claim and trying to fly to Queenstown. Any word on your flights yet, mate?
No update. There's been a warning sent out that it might be delayed, but nothing confirmed yet. We'll see how we go.
Mate, once again, safe travels and look forward to catching up with you in a couple of weeks. Mr. Evans, what have you got on for the next couple of weeks, mate? Hopefully you're feeling a bit better.
Yeah, feel a bit better. School holidays, so hanging out with Oliver. Got a few pieces of work that we're doing. Should be good.
Oh, sorry, I forgot. I shouldn't be displaying the person.
No, don't. No.
Take that down.
Maybe by sort of lunchtime it'll be up and running.
What, lunchtime next week?
Oh, I'd after lunchtime today.
Fantastic. What a great show, guys. Busy couple of weeks coming up for me as well. So no doubt it is going to be chaos. So till the next time, thanks for joining us and take care. You guys say goodbye. Say bye-bye.
See ya.
See ya. Bye-bye.